Good morning, students. Let's continue our chapter 3, Cultural Heritage of India, Sculpture and Architecture. Yesterday we studied about the sculpture, what do you mean by it? Also, what is the meaning of architecture? We also studied about Mohenjo-daro. As we were studying about Mohenjo-daro, we saw about the construction of town, roads, their drainage system, public bath, public buildings, and we came to know that how systematic they were. I also had told you who were the people under whom this excavation work was taken. Also, there were the people, you know that Sir John Marshall and Colonel Meg, under whose guidance this excavation work was taken up. Today we are going to study about Harappa. So please be with me. Open your textbook and take page number 19. Let's continue about Harappa. In 1921, under the leadership of Sir John Marshall and Colonel Meg, Dayaram Saini discovered very ancient remains of Indian civilization from Montgomery in Punjab district near Harappa. Students, make a bracket. We have already seen yesterday also, we saw that under the leadership of Sir John Marshall and Colonel Meg, Dayaram Saini, thus discovering work was taken up. Now, you will have to underline Montgomery in Punjab district near Harappa. The remains of Indus Valley civilization were found from Harappa in Himalayan region, Alamgirpur at Meerut and in Uttar Pradesh, Kalibangan in Rajasthan, Lothal at Dholka in Gujarat, Desalpur, Shikarpur in Kutch, Dholavera, Rangpur near Limri in Saurashtra, Shiragnathgarh at Rosadi near Gondal, and Kuntasi near Morbi and Somnath. So, students, where were the remains found of the Indus Valley civilization? Students, you will have to remember these names. Therefore, underline these names. Over here, Harappa in Himalayan region, then Alamgirpur at Meerut in Uttar Pradesh, Kalibangan in Rajasthan, Lothal at Dholka in Gujarat, Desalpur in Shikarpur in Kutch, Dholavera. Then you also have Rangpur near Limri in Saurashtra, Sharinathgarh, Rosadi near Gondal, and Kuntasi near Morbi and Somnath. These are the names we will have to mention. The regions of Saptasindhu, the region of Saptasindhu river is a region of our Indian culture. The culture which developed here is known as Indus Valley civilization. Students, the region of Saptasindhu river is a region of Indian culture, and the culture which developed in that place, that is near the river Saptasindhu, is known as Indus Valley civilization. In 7th standard you have studied, you know that how Indus Valley got its name. Okay, and so student, over here, its remains were found first of all from Harappa. That is why it is known as Harappan civilization. Copper and stone weapons and many other things were found from this region. Make a bracket. Copper and stone weapons and many other things were found from this region. Which region, student? We are talking about Indus Valley civilization, Saptasindhu region. And so student, which was the first place? Harappan was the first place, and that is why it came to be known as Harappan civilization. Students, now I want you to open the bracket over here. Copper and stone. So, copper and stone weapons and many other things were found from this region. That is why it is also known as Copper Stone Age. In one sentence, it could be asked, why is Harappan civilization also known as Copper Stone Age? So, you should be able to answer. Close the bracket after Stone Age. Town planning of Harappa civilization was very systematic. Its granaries and forts were remarkable. People of that age were fond of wearing ornaments, and such remains have been found. So, students, we saw about Mohenjo-daro also, about their town planning. We saw about how systematic they were, their public bath, their public buildings. Similarly, the people of Harappa also were very, very systematic. It is mentioned about their town planning. Then, its granaries and forts were remarkable. Students, we saw in Mohenjo-daro also that they had the granaries where they store their food. Also the barrack, which was the building where they kept the soldiers, the armies were kept. Now, students, so far we have studied about Mohenjo-daro as well as Harappan civilization. You know that under the guidance of Sir John and Colonel Eng.Med, Dayaram Saini, under them this work was, under their leadership, this excavation work was taken over. Now we are going to see about Dholavira. This is also a question, many times it is asked either in your class tests, your semesters, prelims. So that means it is important question for the board exam too. Now let's study about Dholavira. A huge and systematic ancient town, contemporary to Harappan civilization, has been found 2 km away from Dholavira village at Khadirvet, in vast desert of Bachau Taluka, which is about 140 km away from Bhuj. Make a bracket to these students till Bhuj. From there, a huge and systematic ancient town, contemporary to Harappan civilization, has been found. So, Dholavira also was a systematic ancient town just like Harappan and Mohenjo-daro. Okay. It is also an ancient town contemporary to Harappan civilization just like them. Okay. Which has been 2 km from Dholavira village at Khadirvet. And student, where is that Khadirvet? Of Bachau Taluka, which is 140 km from Bhuj. Okay. Then, Archaeological Department of Gujarat surveyed this heap of ruins. After these officers of Archaeological Survey of India had undertaken the research work in 1990 AD, special task of excavation was carried out under the guidance of Ravindra Singh Bish. Now, students, I want you to underline this. We saw earlier about the Mohenjo-daro and Harappan under the guidance of Sir John Marshall and Colonel Eng.Med, Dayaram Saini, under their leadership, under their guidance the work was taken. Over here, the Dholavira, under the guidance of whom, students? Ravindra Singh Bish. Now, you have to remember these names. And as I had told you to make the bracket till Bhuj, you will have to write in your answer where Dholavira is situated and how many kilometers away from Bhuj. Now, remains of Dholavira, places and main walls of town were painted with white color. So remains at Dholavira, the parts, the particles, the leftover parts which they found out, okay, and the places and main walls of town were painted with white color. They had used white color to paint them. Now what is the purpose of it? What did that signify? Such fortified walls encircling towns suggest strong security. So when they saw that the white walls, they realized it also suggested that they had the strong security. They were very well secure. This wall is made up of clay, stone and... So students, turn the page. Now, this wall is made up of clay, stone and bricks. Which wall, students? The white wall, which was well fortified. which should also signify that they were well protected town. Potable water was available here, as well as a proper system of water purification was set up here, which is not made available to all even in modern age. Students, you see at that age they had the potable water system available, where they tried to give water which was purified. Students, even till today, in many of the places, we do not get the purified water still. And this system we are studying about 2500 years BC. So then, see students where we are and how advanced and how well was those towns were. Which towns we study, students? We studied about Mohenjo-daro, Harappa and Dholavira. Now we are going to study about Lothal. Lothal also is an important question which you will have to remember. So let's study about Lothal. Where is it situated and what is it special for? Lothal is situated in Dholka Taluka of Ahmedabad district. Dholka is a place between two rivers. Make a bracket. Where is Lothal situated? In Dholka Taluka of Ahmedabad district. It comes in, Dholka comes in Ahmedabad. And so students, it is a place between two rivers, underline. Which are these two rivers? Bhogawo and Sabarmati. Bhogawo and Sabarmati are these two rivers, and it is 18 kilometers far from Bay of Khambat. Which is the place, students? We are studying about Lothal. From where 3 layers of human habitat were found. What they had found out? They had found out 3 layers of human habitat. Meaning, while doing the excavation work, as they were digging out, they found out the 3 layers. Three different layers of the human habitat. They realized that there had been 3 generations must have stayed over there. 3 layers. Students, you know that these places, how they could find out in the excavation? Because they were buried under the soil, underground. They went maybe during the time of earthquake or whatever could the reasons be. These civilizations were buried, and that is how these people who went to excavate, they found out. Now, just go ahead, let's see that what is there more. A huge dockyard was constructed to facilitate ships in the time of high tides, at the lower eastern part of the town. So, huge dockyards. Students, what do you mean by dockyards? Where the boats were kept, where the big ships were kept. Why they were constructed? To facilitate ships in time of high tides at the lower eastern part of the town. And this is a unique feature of Lothal. This is something unique of Lothal which they did not find in Harappa or Mohenjo-daro or in Dholavira. Such dockyard, storage, shops, etc. show the proof of exports and imports. So people think that it could be the place where the export and the import took place, because there were big dockyards, huge dockyards were built. This suggests that Lothal might be a rich and prosperous port of India. So what suggests, students? The huge dockyard suggests also, what is that? The storage shops and all. This is a proof that they had the export and import. And so, that means the people of that time will be surely rich and prosperous. That was a prosperous port of India. This is a matter of great pride, not only for Gujarat, but also for history of India. So students, they are telling it is not only pride of Gujarat, but for the history of India that we are studying about Lothal. It is, student, where is this place situated? It is in Ahmedabad district, in the Dholka Taluka, which is 18 kilometers far from Bay of Khambat and situated at the two rivers, at the place where two rivers are, and they are Bhogawo and Sabarmati rivers, where they also found out 3 layers of human habitats. They also realized that it was a huge dockyard where they must have had the export and import. So therefore they concluded that it could be the rich place. India at that time must be very rich and prosperous. And so it makes all as a pride for the people of Gujarat as well as for Indians. Students, now we are going to study about the Mauryan art. What are we going to study in Mauryan art? Now let's see about the different stupas, stone inscriptions, pillar of Sarnath. So I had told you in the beginning only, this chapter is very important from the points of examination. You are asked different types of questions at different years in the board exam. And so let's study about the Mauryan age. Stupa. Stupa, an oval-shaped construction under which the remains of Lord Buddha's body were kept in a box, is known as stupa. So what is the meaning of stupa? Students, look over here. It's given over here an oval shape. An oval-shaped construction under which remains, what is that? The leftover part of Lord Buddha's body were kept in a box, that is known as stupa. You can see over here stupa of Sanchi. They are showing you about the stupa of Sanchi. Students, I want you to also have a look at these pictures. Why? I will show it to you just as when we finish the class. Towards the end of the class, I will show you why I am telling you to have a look at the picture. What is this? What is this picture of? Picture is of stupa of Sanchi. And what do you understand by stupa? Where the remains of Lord Buddhas are kept in the box is known as stupa. There are 5 famous stupas of King Ashoka's time. From King Ashoka's time, there are 5 main stupas. And which are they? Stupa of Sanchi, stupa of Sarnath, stupa of Bharat, stupa of Nandangarh, then stupa of Devni in Gujarat. Besides, chaityas, viharas and muds were constructed. So students, besides the 5 famous stupas from the time of Ashoka, there have been also chaityas, viharas and muds which were constructed. Students, in case you are asked, write about the 5 famous stupas of King Ashoka's time. Which are they? Stupa of Sanchi, stupa of Sarnath, stupa of Bharat, stupa of Nandangarh and stupa of Devni, which is in Gujarat. The period of King Ashoka was a golden period of prosperity for Buddhist religion, an age of sculpture and architecture. Students, you know, you have studied earlier also that Ashoka's period also was known as a golden period. Why, students? It was very prosperous period. There was a prosperity for Buddhist religion. Buddhist religion went on flourishing as well as the age of sculpture and architecture. By now, you know what is the meaning of sculpture and architecture. You also know now what is the meaning of stupa. Now, let's see. Buddhist religion has gifted caves, viharas, chaityas and stupas to the field of architecture. Now, the Buddhist religion, what have they gifted? They have gifted us with the chaityas, viharas, caves, stupas to the field of architecture. When we studied about the architecture, we also saw that what is the meaning of the architecture? Architecture means vastu, a word vastu is used for the architecture, and that we saw that the temples, houses, buildings, wells, mosques and all, when it is being constructed, it is known as the skill is seen in this architecture, art and architecture, which is known as architecture. So students, over here, this Buddhist religion which has helped us in the architecture. Now, let us study about stupa of Sanchi. The Sanchi stupa was built during Mauryan period. It is situated at Madhya Pradesh. The original stupa of Sanchi was made of bricks. It was half in size compared to the present stupa. The Buddhist stupa is precious specimen of art and architecture. Students, we studied that. We know now, you know what is the meaning of stupa. And this Buddhist stupa is a specimen of art and architecture. It's one of these most remarkable specimen architect. And so, students, what is the size? It was half in size compared to the present stupa. Right now what we have is bigger than what we had seen earlier. Now, where is it? It was built in whose period? During the Mauryan period. Where is it situated, students? It is situated in Madhya Pradesh. Original stupa of Sanchi was made in bricks. Now, we will also study about the pillar inscription. So, let's see on the next page. This is about pillar inscription. What do you understand by that? Now, stone inscriptions were made from single rock. Stone inscriptions carved out by the religious order of Emperor Ashoka are the best specimen of engraving on stone. Students, see that the stone inscriptions were made from single rock. From the single rock, these stone inscriptions were made. Now what do you understand by inscription? So the inscription is what, students? The letters, some words which or the message inscribed especially or words engraved or carved on something. Okay, so we are studying about the stone inscription. Maybe a message that was or activity of inscribing, especially carving or engraving letters or words, message that is written on the stone. They were polished so well that they gleam, that is shine out. Such pillars were erected in Ambala, Meerut, Allahabad, Sarnath, Loria near Nandangarh, Sanchi, Kashi, Patna and Bodhivruksha near Bodh Gaya. They were carved in Brahmi script. So students, we studied that what is the meaning of inscription? Is that engraving or carving something on maybe on wood or maybe on the stone. Over here we are studying about the stone. And so they were polished so well, so they were shining out. They would shine out. Those such pillars, where are they erected? Where are they? In which places, students? They are in Ambala, Meerut, Allahabad, Sarnath, Loria near Nandangarh, Sanchi, Kashi, Patna and Bodhivruksha near Bodh Gaya. They were carved in Brahmi script, underlined Brahmi script. Students, we will study about pillar at Sarnath and stone inscriptions tomorrow. Plus, we will study about the Gupta, the art of Gupta period. So, today I am going to show you the board work, which you will have to write the answers, which I have already given you while teaching, which you will be able to easily find out from the textbook. Now, I told you why I wanted you to look at the pictures. I'll just show you one paper. Look at this picture and listen to, look at the question. Identify from the given picture the ancient University of India. Explain in brief. So look at the question. Unless you know the picture, you will not be able to answer well. And the question is of 3 marks. This was asked in the board exam. The paper is from last year's student. Somebody came and gave me the paper. I had asked for the paper because I wanted to show it to you. So see students, you should know what is given in the book. Everything is important. You also will have to study the highlighted box. You get the highlighted box in your book. You have to read them. Like to know what is, they inform you something or the other. Sometimes they can ask from there also. I will show you now the board work. There are 6 questions, which I will also be sending you the image. You have to answer them. Have a good day. Complete your books. Soon you will be called in the school for the correction of the books. See you tomorrow.